Students, we have seen already the composite functions, that is the first subunit of the derivatives in the chapter number 1, that is differentiation. Okay. In this lecture, I am going to teach you the theorem of these composite functions, and these composite functions are also called as chain of the functions, and we have to prove the chain rule for these functions. Okay. The theorems are asked for the 3 marks or 4 marks, and the question is prove the theorem of chain rule, and the statement is given to you in the exam, and further you have to solve one of the example. It is attached to this question also, and then this question is asked for 4 marks. Let us see how to solve the theorem, how to prove the theorem in this lecture. Okay. Students, we have already studied the first principle of the derivative. Okay. Let us see here the first principle. F dash of x is equal to limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by x plus h minus x, and this x cancelled out and divided by only h. Therefore, we have to take on the limit as h tends to 0. This is the first principle. Derivative by the first principle. Okay. We have studied already in the 11th standard. Derivative by the first principle. What is this numerator says? This says that this is the change in f of x, means change in the function of f of x. This numerator is, what is this numerator is? Change in function f of x. This function is with the variable of x. Okay. Change in function, any of the function, and change in function, it is the numerator. And what is the denominator? This says that change in x, that means the change in variable x. Okay. What is the meaning of the numerator and denominator here? What is meant by derivative? Derivative is the rate of change of, okay, rate of change of one of the variable to the with respect to the another variable. This is the ratio of these two, that is change in f of x divided by change in x. This is the derivative, that is called as f dash of x by the first principle. Let us see. F dash of x means what? Change in f of x. And what is change in f of x? It is a small increment in y. Why? Because we have to take on this f of x. This f of x is y is equal to f of x. Okay. This f of x means what? Y is equal to f of x. Therefore, we have to write it as small increment in y. And what is the denominator? It is small increment in x. What is the small increment in this? That is by h. By h, this function is increasing in this small increment in x. This is the denominator. This is change in f of x, and this is change in x. What is mean by this? There is small increment in y and small increment in x. Okay. Therefore, it is equal to, what is equal to? It is f dash of x is equal to limit as h tends to 0. Okay. Limit h tends to 0. Let us take for this h, that is small increment in y divided by small increment in x. This small increment h is taken as delta x. We have to denote this h, that is small increment, that as a delta x tending to 0. We have to put for this h as delta x, because whenever there is increment in the function, in the variable, we put this notation, that is delta. Okay, therefore it becomes, the small increment in y is written as y plus delta y. For this change in f of x, that is means by small increment in the variable y, because y is equal to f of x. Y is the function of x. Okay, function of x means x is the variable of that function. Okay, and this can be written as y plus delta y. This f of x plus h is written as y plus delta y, and minus f of x means minus y divided by, this is written as small increment in y, and the denominator is written in small increment in x, that x plus h is written as delta x, because we have to denote this h by delta x minus this x as it is. Okay, let this y get cancelled, it becomes delta y by delta x, as limit h tends to, where for the h we have to write it as delta x tends to 0. This limit delta x tends to 0, that is delta y by delta x, and for this we have to write it as dy by dx. Whenever there is limit as delta x tending to 0, delta y by delta x is equal to, it can be written as dy by dx, and this f dash of x, we know this, what is f dash of x? F dash of x is equal to dy by dx. We know about this earlier. Okay, what is mean by dy by dx? That is, if y is differentiable function, y is differentiable function of x, then what? If y is differentiable function, then we have to write it as dy by dx is equal to limit as delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x. This becomes dy by dx, and what is mean by dy by dx is equal to limit as delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x. Okay, let us see how it becomes. Okay, then we go through the theorem. What is the theorem of the composite functions? We also known it as chain rule. We have earlier seen this rule, that is dy by dx is equal to dy by du into du by dx. Okay, this is the statement of the theorem. If y is equal to f of u is differentiable function of u, and u is equal to g of x is also a differentiable function of x, such that y is equal to function of g of x, means function of another function, that is g of x is a differentiable function of x, then we have this rule, that is dy by dx is equal to dy by du into du by dx. Let us prove it. Okay, proof of this theorem. Let us see in the right side how many variables are there in this theorem. Here is y is a variable, another variable is u, here is also u, and last variable, this is a x. In this last, this is the variable x, and there are total 3 variables, and it can be written as, let delta y, delta u and delta x be small increments. This delta it can be written for the small increments in the variables. Small increments in y, u and x respectively. First we have to find out how many variables are there, and we have to write first the small increments in these variables. We have to return this in the type of the small increments in these variables. Let us take this given rule, that is delta y by delta x is equal to delta y by delta u into delta u by delta x. Okay, taking limit. How to take this limit? Taking limit as on the both sides. Let us see here on the right side the last increment with respect to x, and therefore we have to take limit as delta x tends to 0. Therefore it becomes limit, taking the limit on both sides, limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x is equal to limit delta x tends to 0. This becomes delta y by delta u as it is into delta u by delta x as it is. How to taking limit? We have to see in here, that is in this equation last variable is x and small increment in this x is delta x. Therefore we have to take the limit as delta x tends to 0. Separate limits, we have to take the separate limits. Delta x tends to 0 for each term, delta y by delta u into limit delta x tends to 0, delta u by delta x. Okay, let us see how to write the next step for this theorem. This becomes as delta x tending to 0 on both sides, but in this step we have in the first limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta u, means there is small increment in the variable y with respect to u. Therefore we have to take the limit as delta u tends to 0. Therefore we have to take the help of the statement of this theorem, that is as y is differentiable function with respect to u, then u is differentiable function with respect to x. Therefore we have to take as delta x tends to 0, delta u also tends to 0. Therefore we have to take for the first term, that is as delta x tending to 0, delta u also tends to 0. Therefore the terms becomes left hand side, that is limit as delta x tends to 0, keep as it is delta y by delta x, and that is equal to limit, change here the limit, that is delta u tends to 0, and this delta y by delta u into the second limit, limit as delta x tends to 0, we get, that is delta u upon delta x. This becomes the equation 1. Let us take this for 1. As y is differentiable function, it is given in the statement of the theorem as y is differentiable function of u and u is differentiable function of x. Differentiable function of x. Then we have to write for the right side, that is first term, that is limit delta u tends to 0, delta y by delta u is equal to what? Dy by dx, dy by du. Okay, and for the second term of this, that is limit delta x tends to 0, we have to write it as delta u by delta x for this du upon dx. This is suppose the second equations. These two equations, call it as 2, and first is here, and put these values in the 1. Therefore we write it as, from 1 and 2 we get limit, left side limit as delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x is equal to, right side becomes dy by du into du by dx. Okay. As limit of these RHS are exist and finite, then limit of the left side also exists. Therefore, as limit on RHS exist and also finite, then only we can take the limit of this. Therefore, limit on LHS also exist and finite. Okay. Therefore, we have to write for the left side as limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x, we have to write it as dy by dx is equal to dy by du into du by dx. Okay. Students, I have completed here the chain rule, that is called as a theorem on the composite function, that is derivatives of the composite function, and this is the theorem for the composite functions, and we also call it as the chain rule for the given functions. Okay. Thank you students, and for the next video I will come back to the theorem on the inverse functions. Thank you.